Everyone, I'm Natalia and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you my favorite and personal um, ways, particular tool, let's say it this way, a particular tool that I have discovered that has helped me tremendously in organizing and putting together my studies of those tarot deck. Now, this particular tool is something that you can use to study any tarot deck, whether it is Thoth, Marseille, or Rider-Waite-Smith system. Doesn't matter. This tool is going to be benefiting to all of you. And I want to talk about this tool because it has been really very, very helpful to me personally. And anytime I come across things that I find very helpful, I want to share with all of you in case if you're going to find this helpful. I also know that some of you have been wanting to acquire this particular tool, but had been unsure how it works and whether it's going to benefit you. So if you've been waiting for this review, this is definitely going to be it. So this deck, that is my soul deck, that I know at the back of my hand without even having a need for titles. As you can see, I chopped my copy up, so there is no borders. I know this deck really, really well. And just like any other deck, there's no such thing as knowing tarot all the way. And one of the reasons why we can never know tarot all the way is because there is no such thing as knowing tarot all the way, because tarot is a key to life. And the key to life constantly molds and changes as we grow and evolve and change. As our relationship to archetypal energies changes, so does our meaning and understanding to those things change as well. You may have an understanding of a Tower card right now based on where you're at, based on where you're at in your life, based on Tower experiences you had up to this moment, based on, I feel like I'm doing infomercial for QVC right now with my hand like this, based on your own level of growth that you have done through the Tower card. And I guarantee you 2, 5, 10, 15, 20 years from today, you're going to have a very different relationship to this card because you have grown and evolved, and so has this archetype within you. So for that reason, tarot for all of us remains to be a multidimensional, living, breathing body, living, breathing part of us that grows and matures and evolves with us as we grow and mature and evolve. So I, like many of you, constantly studying and digging deeper into my beloved tarot deck because there's no such thing as being an expert at tarot. There's just thing as at learning more and more about tarot deck. And like many of you, one of the best ways that I know how to study this or any other deck is by doing daily draws and journaling on those daily draws. Very instrumental. Why? Because one, you get to see how that energy unfolds within the day. So you get to see how it plays out. And two, you get to see how it plays out in relationship to you personally, which is very vital. As you know, I'm a sucker for journaling. And for years now, I've been using the small format. I will link a video below where I talk about journaling. I will link video below where I also talk about, if you want to, it might be helpful to you, where I also talk about decks, Oracle and Tarot decks that are very helpful for journaling. So for years, I've been using this format, and I've been loving, absolutely loving using this format of journaling. I take a photograph with my sprocket for my draws, and I will journal. It's a great way for me to keep things all concise and in one place. When it comes to studying a deck, I don't like to use this because this is, I'll tell you why. One, this is a personal thing. Not that studying deck isn't a personal thing, but sometimes I want to see how, for example, High Priestess how she has shown up to me in different times. What is the energies? How have energies of High Priestess has evolved with me as I have grown and mature more. And so for that reason, I really want to have one particular place where all of my study and understanding and evolution of this card are placed in one place. So then I don't go through all of my journals. Oh my God, where is it that I drew High Priestess? Looking and looking for that image. That's why I have one particular journal designed for that, almost like a grimoire. And for years, I have struggled personally to create one. I'm not very handy at creating one. I know that some of you who are very good at bullet journaling are fantastic at creating it, and that's phenomenal. I'm not one of those people until I came across a journal by Sabrina Scott. Now, if you don't know who Sabrina Scott is, I will link below. I did interview Sabrina on my video. It was a phenomenal, great interview. Having said that, I want to be very transparent and clear. Sabrina and I are not friends. We occasionally may message each other on Instagram just the same way I message to or interact with a lot of other people. I wouldn't call, Sabrina might feel differently, but I wouldn't necessarily call me and her friends. We don't talk a lot. We don't talk about personal things. We just maybe like comment on each other's posts now and then. So I want to be very clear. We're not friends, and she did not ask me by any means to talk or discuss this as a tool. She did not offer to send it to me. I purchased this completely with my own money because I was intrigued and I wanted to see if it works. And the only reason why I'm making this video I will be boasting about this mega grimoire, because I think it is brilliant and because I think it has tremendously made a huge difference in my tarot studies. It has really filled the gap in the area where I needed something, and I will show you in detail what this entails, why I think this is so great. So I just want to be very clear. I'm not like, oh, you have to run out and buy this because I'm doing a favor to anybody. No, I genuinely think this is very smart, very clever what she put together. First, when I saw this journal, and she has two journals, and I will briefly share this one because it's different. This is the one I used to study, and I will go over all of this in detail in this video. This one is, you can see, smaller. So I should have grabbed off the shelf. Sabrina has two books. I got to know Sabrina by her first book, Witch Body, which is a graphic novel. It is one of the best books on witchcraft I have ever read, because it is so relevant to helping you understand how the witchcraft is really situated in here now, and how witchcraft is really situated within the scope of your subjective experiences and within the scope of your relationship to your ecosystem around you. Everything around you is at your disposal to be utilized for witchcraft. You do not need to necessarily buy tools. It's a very good graphic novel. I read that graphic novel, and when I saw especially references she used throughout the book and in the back, I knew that this girl was deeply intelligent and really was thinking outside of her box. So I went to look, obviously, like when we like somebody, I went to look for her content, and I came across her Instagram, and I started following her. Then I saw that she also has another book, which I never read, so I'm not going to say anything about that book because I don't even know if it's good or bad. Then I invited her to be interviewed because I thought her and the way she talks about certain subjects matter was really insightful, and she agreed to interview, which was fantastic to have her. And I interviewed her again. I'll link it below. When I interviewed her, she already had the two journals out, and I was kind of already thinking, should I buy them? Do I need them? My experience is that I buy tarot journals like eye candy, right? And then I end up not using, and I have a gazillion of them. They never work out for me. So I was on the fence also because these journals were not cheap. This one, I think, is $40, and I think this one is $29. So I was thinking, do you really need a $40 journal that most of it, and I'll show you, is pages which are repetitions of itself? When I interviewed Sabrina, she shared these two things, and in the end, she did this, which changed a lot of things for me. She said, "What I love about my books and my journals is that they're all the same format. So when you put them on a bookshelf, it becomes like these beautiful books." Well, guess what? I love books. I think a lot of you do too. And I thought, oh, well, I just love that idea. And then it finally clicked in my head. This, which we'll start talking about right now, is meant to be like a book, a grimoire, if you will, if you want to use the word grimoire. For me, this is a book that is solely devoted to this, that I can have on my shelf. I know where it is. It's not a journal, it is a book of my subjective personal experiences in relationship to this that is constantly evolving, that I'm feeling in. That instead of looking through a journal, when did I draw a particular card to see what it meant for that particular situation, it's all in one place. When I had that click, I realized that the concept that she has done here, that I'm going to show you, the methodology, is very clever. I also, I'm a self-published author myself, and being a content creator, I create online courses. Being somebody who creates content for purchase in exchange for value, I understood that what she was charging for, I know that $40 may seem like a lot, but a lot of times, in my experience, I'm going to speak for myself, I don't pay a lot of times for necessarily, let me put it the other way. A lot of times I will pay for concept that eases my time, creates flexibility, creates structure, helps me be more disciplined, keep things in one place, and just a very cleverly done item. What you're paying for, you're getting this for $40, what I paid for, you get a grimoire devoted to one particular tarot deck, and you're also getting this methodology that she has utilized, that is a proven method that is cleverly distilled in here. And to me, I think that is priceless. If I'm going to have a book for the rest of my life on a shelf that I filled in, devoted to this book is going to outbid every single book I have on my shelf on those stack. It's going to outbid Lone Melody. It's even going to outbid Aleister Crowley Book of Thoth, Lone Melody Cat book on Zostack, Scott Miller that I have right here, Zostero. It's going to outbid any other book that is written out there to understand Zostack. Why? Because all of those books are still written from their subjective experience in relationship to the deck. Even Crowley, that book is written on his subjective experience to those archetypes that he has created. This is mine. It belongs to me, and that's, to me, is invaluable. So what is this? And I'll show the other one also. It's different, and I use it differently, and I use it less in this. So how do I use this? First of all, I really appreciate, I apologize, the light is changing. When I hold things in front of a camera, the light is going to change. So let me tweak it a little bit for you here. So first and foremost, let me just say that, oh, there we go. Isn't it better? I hope this is better. Okay, first and foremost, I really appreciate the design. I like that it's black and white. I'm a sucker for clean, clear, aesthetic designs. I like that it's black and white. I like, Sabrina has a very signature art style. She's an artist. She has a very clear, distinct signature at this point. Her signature to me, her art style, at least to me, it is so distinct that I can spot Sabrina's design and I can just tell this is Sabrina Scott, which I think is fantastic for creator to have something that stands out on its own. So it's a big fat book. As you can see, can you see it? I broke it. Books broke it. When I got it, I went through sections so it can lie flat. So let me show you what this is. So this is called Getting to Know the Cards Journal. I will link it where you can get it on Amazon. You can try it out. So first, it's like, who is this dedicated? Start date. You can see I started on November 21st of last year. End date probably going to be indefinite. The deck that I'm working with was those deck. Okay, then she has, this journal can be used with any deck. Hello, dear friend. And she talks about the concept, how to use this journal. To use this journal is pretty intuitive. She gives you a little prompt, still not sure how to start, and then off we go. So this is how the tarot journal broken down. There's pages for major arcana and pages for minor arcana. And they all repeat themselves, right? They're meant to repeat themselves because they're meant to give you the backbone, the framework, the backbone, and you're meant to fill in the blanks. What I have done, because I'm studying, so here's major arcana, and we're starting off, all she does, all Sabrina provided is she provided the name, pool, and here is an empty square. What you're seeing here is I'm also going to link below. A while back, I found a seller on Etsy that makes these stickers of different sizes. The seller doesn't have those stickers listed and they come in really tiny size. But I reached out to them and I said, are you able to make me stickers for those stack? And they said, yes. And I think they might, if you're going to study something other than those deck, you may ask, who knows, they might be able to make stickers for your particular deck too. So these are stickers, as you can see, for those deck. So I will link it below. I love it because, again, I'm not good at drawing. I'm not going to be drawing a full card in there. It's very helpful for me that way. So you're going to have blank here, but I put in a sticker. You write down your first impressions. Then the next page is upright meaning, reversed meaning. When I pull this card, so when you pull this card, what do you feel? Symbols that are in a card. I love this. Patterns, notice when I pull this card. So you write down patterns, and I'll tell you how I personally use it. My questions about this card, my relationship to this card. And this is a really clever part. You can see I already filled in for the full. Date pulled, situation, and interpretation. And then it repeats here. This way you can fill in the pattern. And then we go off magician. You can see what I wrote for magician. Well, you can't see, but I'm showing you. I filled in upright. I don't do reversed, so I just continue to upright. Symbols of magician. Patterns, and this I have yet to do. And I have put down when I pulled the magician was December 6th. And so it goes on then to Empress. And the same thing repeats for all of the cards. And then we get to the minors. And the minors are the same way. 8 of Wands, I put in sticker. You have first impressions, upright, my questions. So you get the same thing for minors. And as you can see, I have filled in some minors. So how do I use this, which I think is phenomenal tool, and why you see sporadic, like right now I open to 4 of Swords. You can see that I filled it in. And why, when we're going to go to 5 of Swords, you will see it blank. Why do you see my journal sporadically jumping around? I found over the years that it is not, I mean, look how big it is. It is not helpful to me when I study tarot to go from beginning to the end of the deck, to start with a Fool. It's not helpful to me. This is not how I retain information, and I get bored very easily. I lose interest really easily. It just doesn't work out for me that way. What I found works for me over the years, and what I recommend for you to try, because I think it would work for a lot of you, is this. Do your daily draw. Even if you don't use the deck you're going to study. Right now, I'm not using this for my daily draws because, as many of you know, I'm using my favorite which door I go through circle of doors. So what I do right now is, which door do I need to go through? Let's say I pull 5 of cups. I sit with this as a doorway first, and then I will find 5 of cups in here. I will pull up 5 of cups, and then I will go to 5 of cups page in here. And then what I do is, one moment, what I will do for 5 of cups, instead of using all of the tarot books on those deck I have, I don't overwhelm myself. I will look up at the reading in here because this is essential. And as I shared in another video on Overwhelmed with Those, how to start, I will link that video below. That video may come out after this video or before, so if it doesn't show up, it'll show up later. And I've been using this one because I feel like this is the best resource study guide and the most interesting one. So I will put down my first impressions, upright meaning, then symbols I extrapolate from here, and so on. So I fill in the blanks. Why do I do it this way? When I do it this way, it is, so for example, you see here, the Lord of Pleasure, 6 of Cups I filled out. I do it on the days that I pulled, that has been my daily draw, because as I go through the day, I also notice the meaning of the card for the day for me. And in the evening, I will sit down and then I will write down this part right here. So this is a December 2nd daily draw. 6 of Cups. You guys want to, I'm like embarrassed. Interpretation: had amazing sex with D. D is my husband. So the way the 6 of Cups manifested in my daily draw for December 2nd was I had an amazing sex with my husband. So lucky me. So you can see how 6 of Cups for me could be in a reading that, oh, there's going to be, great intimacy and emotional connection. And if you're planning to have intercourse, guess what? Fireworks are going to be flying for you. So this way, when you do a daily draw, wasn't expecting that, right? This way, when I do a daily draw, it becomes a fantastic way to also pay attention how the card unfolds for you throughout the day. I have filled in quite a bit of the cards already. The challenge for me is just finding time in the morning. I filled in the moon, first impressions. When I pull this card, how do I feel? Like things are not clear, or as if there is something unseen. When I get the cards again that I already filled in, I still go into the journal and I see, is there something that I can add? Because when I fill in information, I often see still leave a lot of blank. Like I leave these pages, patterns. I notice when I pull this card, my questions about this card, I leave some with blank so that when repetitions happen, I have space to go through. I imagine to go through the whole year of this and completely fill it in as you go throughout the year. Imagine the richness you will have. So here's this card. I will also put down the astrological symbolism. Imagine the richness you will have of having a grimoire that is filled in. I cannot wait to have this filled in so that next time when I'm doing readings for myself, I look and pull and see how have things evolved and continue to evolve for me. This is why I think this is so great. Now, the only thing that is, I wouldn't even say negative, but the only thing that ends up being financially splurgy for all of us, and I can't see any way around it, that's just how it is that I loving having this grimoire for Thoth tarot. I would love to have this grimoire for Mariel tarot, for Circle of Doors tarot for sure. And there was like another one that I had, trying to think which one. But we get some of those tarot decks that are just really fantastic study decks. So having something like this, and for me, honestly, even if I have to splurge, the amount of money that I have spent on bullet journals, different journals, trying to create this type of structure, has just backfired for me. So I spent more money on those journals that are just lying around. Actually now as I'm talking, I think that after I'm gonna finish, I'm gonna jump on and buy another one for Mary L. I think that's gonna be a really, really fucking awesome and clever. Hopefully this helps you understand not only how I incorporate in my studying, but what a great and valuable tool it is and how cleverly it is that she has laid it out, especially with the patterns that you're going to see. I mean, how often do we have patterns and we just totally forget that we have pulled out, totally totally forget that we had pulled out and that the pattern of like Six of Cups, great sex. But having it here, I think that that's just really, really great snapshot in here. I think that's really, I mean, Sabrina, if she is, here's, for example, the four of, you see the four of, oh my God, swords, I already pulled twice. So I'm already starting to form a pattern here. The first pattern was a daily draw was in November 21st, was burned out, hit and broke my toe by rushing, in parentheses, slow down. So this is when I pulled Four of Swords, indication, yeah, take time out, rest. And November 27th, 3 days later, I pulled again Four of Swords. And it's the interpretation, the pattern that I noticed was I didn't sleep well and was tired more than usual half of the day. So again, now we're seeing the pattern. Four of Swords can also mean, for me, slow down. Something might happen. Pay attention to your energy. It's time to rest. We all know that Four of Swords means that, but now you're getting more nuanced, more deeper meaning. So Sabrina, if you happen to be watching it, kudos, really, really fucking fantastic tool. And you guys know me, when I come across tools or tarot decks by creators like Circle of Doors that I love, I will continue to preach and talk about it because I do want these creators to be able to sell their product, because their products are phenomenal, and I really want the creators to do well, because if she created something like this, who knows what else she's going to create. I think she also has a journal for witchcraft, I think, like a ritual journal, which I don't have. So let's finish up by sharing with you what the difference between this journal. As you can see, it is, in terms of size, much smaller. I think this one is 600 pages. I don't remember how many pages this is. I will link it all below. I don't make any money from the links. There's no affiliate program or anything like that. And again, to this, yeah, I'm just sharing with you tools that I think are amazing. So this one is card of a day. This is different. So what it is meant to be, you have kind of similar start again, how to use a journal. And then what you have is page that looks like this, card of a day. I take pictures with Sprocket and put my card of a day there. Then you have today's date, day of the week, months, moon phase, time, deck, mood. My mood in here, this was November 24th, hungover/tired. What lesson can I take from today? And you write down. And it's one page for the card. Then you have card of a day, card of a day. It repeats itself. The difference to this journal is that she will repeat prompts but then they will start repeating themselves. So the first prompt was, what lessons can I take away from today? This prompt is, what do I need to keep in mind today? This prompt is, how can I best approach today? This prompt, so you can see I switched to Wild Unknown Tarot, is, what do I need to know to have the best day? This one with Ten of Swords. What do I need to know today? As you can see, I filled out quite a bit. What can I learn today? What lessons can I take from today? And so on and so forth. And it's just, page after page of that, which is great because, again, you can either draw in here, you can write down the card, or you can take an image with Sprocket. If you wonder what Sprocket is, I will link it below too. I got mine on Amazon. It allows you to take picture with your phone, and then you can print it in a little size, and it adhesive on the other end as a sticker. So this is very different journal. This, of course, you can use this to study that if you're doing a card draw, but this is obviously a better methodology because you add symbols, upright, reverse meaning, patterns, how do you feel about the card, questions you have about the card, a lot of other things in here. This one, so why do I use this one? I got this one because I was just curious, and I'm a journal junkie. Second of all, I got this one because I do like prompts. So sometimes when I just want like a prompt and maybe I'm feeling a little bit of tarot fatigue, which leaves me feel a little bit bored with tarot, I need a little bit of help. I like that there's a prompt here, a question that I can just answer and play with tarot. And I find that useful in that regard. But otherwise, I use my journal a lot. So as you can see, I haven't filled out a lot. This is more like occasional indulgence. This is definitely a study guide, a practice. So definitely recommend, if you want to splurge on both of them, go for it. But if you are studying a particular tarot deck, you definitely want the big one. And this one is called Tarot Journal, Getting to Know the Cards. Really, really, really good. I highly recommend it. I think that for me, it is absolutely worth the money. For me, it is absolutely worth it. I love, like I said, having this in one place so I can put it on a bookshelf, all concise and well put together. I will link below also my interview with Sabrina. And when you go to that link to interview, there's a lot of resources Sabrina offered to link below that video, including her Instagram, her website, the courses she offers, and everything else. You can take a look at yourself, see what gems with you, what vibes with you, what you enjoy. I really, really, really like what she puts out. And I really think that she's very inspiring to me as a woman, in self-employed business, entrepreneur, as a woman in tarot space, in a witchcraft space. She's very inspiring to me. She's very generous with her time. She's very kind to correspond with. Who knows, maybe one day we will become friends and I'll be making a video saying Sabrina is my friend and I'm talking about her tools. But right now, I'm just glad that I came across her content and her tools, which have really, really greatly enhanced my personal life. And I know it's going to also enhance your life too, because it's just a really great, cleverly pulled together tool. So hopefully this was helpful. If you have any of these journals, comment below. Do you like them? What do you like about them? How they're working out for you? If you have read any of Sabrina's books, which ones do you like? If Sabrina is a completely new person to you, her podcast, by the way, is great too. Comment below. How do you organize your tarot study resources? But hopefully this inspires you to take your studies deeper if you've been wanting to. I have definitely been inspired myself, so hopefully it does the same for you. And I will see you all next time. Bye.